Good morning. The August 27th, 2024 board meeting is now in order. I'd like to welcome my fellow board members and the public. It's encouraging to see so many familiar faces out there today. Paul, roll call, please.
Ms. Wright?
Here.
Mr. Trent?
Here.
Ms. Jenkins?
Here.
Ms. Campbell?
Here.
Mr. Susan?
Here.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, I did. You're right. I'm flying through this. All right. All right. At this time, I'd like to offer my fellow board members and Dr. Rendell an opportunity to recognize students, staff, and members in the community. Does anybody like to go first? Don't everybody all jump up at once? No? Okay, I'll go first. I'll give everyone time. All right. I am going to do something very untraditional because these are not necessarily Brevard County residents, but I want to recognize the world champions of the Little League baseball team in Lake Mary. So I don't know if anybody out there got the chance to watch that this weekend, and it was profound. It was exciting. It was everything you want to see out of a team that plays sports. And one of the coolest things I think that I saw happen is at the end of the final match, when it was coming down to the very last couple minutes, the last play of the game, our team, Lake Mary, Florida, I say ours because they're Floridians just like us, they won. And at that same exact moment, another team lost, right? And so the same event happened, and it triggered two drastically different emotions from both teams. But what was so special was watching those boys and the coaches from Lake Mary scoop up that other team, hug them, congratulate them, because those boys fought a hard fight to get there as well. So just want to congratulate that Lake Mary team. They exemplified what you want to see out of an athlete. They made Florida proud. I think we're all like, hey, let's have a parade, let's have a party for them, and we hope that all of our athletics demonstrate as much sportsmanship as those boys did. So congratulations to them. All right, anybody else? Ms. Jenkins, no? All right. You're good? All right. Nobody's cracked? All right, just me. All right, guys. Dr. Rendell?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Last week we had the opportunity to have a ribbon cutting ceremony at Cocoa Beach Junior Senior High School for the Aqua Dome, or the Aqua Lab. So it's a greenhouse facility that houses a lot of huge tanks, 50 and larger gallon water tanks, and it's part of the Aqua Science program that we launched last year at Cocoa Beach Junior Senior High School. So this is a CTE, or vocational program, where students will learn all about the marine science ecosystems and how to artificially recreate those systems. So to work at places like the zoo or SeaWorld or the aquarium that's going to be built at Port Canaveral. So they're going to learn all kinds of great things about how to create and maintain those artificial ecosystems, but also about our own marine science right here in the Indian River Lagoon and how to preserve and maintain what we have here. So it was a great ceremony. It's a great facility. If you ever want to go see it, you can go by Cocoa Beach Junior Senior High School and ask for a tour, and they'll show it to you. In addition to the lab, we actually have a dock out back. Cocoa Beach is on the water, so those students have the opportunity, the ability, the privilege of actually getting in the water and doing experiments and research right there on campus. So it's a pretty cool program. It was exciting to cut the ribbon there. I want to thank Sue Han and her team for making this dream, this vision of a Aqua Dome a reality. So it's quite a great facility. You guys should go by and check it out.
Thank you. I think Ms. Campbell says she has one. So
yes, I forgot about something. We were able to recognize Miss Angel Ottaway, who is a brand new minted teacher at Jupiter Elementary from our Grow Your Own program. And I know, Mr. Dufresne, we're going to recognize some coming up, some more, because there's 7 in the pipeline who are either already in the classroom or about to be in the classroom. But Miss Ottaway was one of our instructional assistants, went through our program to earn her teaching certificate, and is in the classroom. And we totally surprised her. We were lurking in the shadows when she brought the kids back from lunch and shocked her with the HR team had balloons and not streamers, but flowers and everything. Super excited. And so congratulations to Miss Ottaway, and thank you for doing the hard work to get into the classroom. And we have some more that are going to be recognized very, very soon. As soon as all their paperwork and everything gets in, they'll also be in the classroom because we have spots for them. So I'm excited that this Grow Your Own program is already yielding some fruit.
Success. Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Shout out to HR and the amazing job that you're doing there.
I do want to recognize something. It's kind of out of character, but I feel like it's necessary. We've had some messed up incidents happen recently over the past 2 weeks, and I think it's important to recognize the staff members and the community members who have stepped in some very tumultuous situations and done right by our kids. And I don't want that to kind of disappear. I want you to know that we acknowledge you and we respect you and we appreciate you. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Susan, I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't even give you a chance. So is there anybody that you want to recognize or acknowledge?
No, there's a lot of it's already been said. Thank
Okay.
you very much. I'm good.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. That'll bring us to the adoption of the agenda. Dr. Rendell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On this morning's agenda, we have 1 recognition, 15 consent items, 3 public hearing items, 6 action items, and 1 information item. Changes made to the agenda since release to the public include the following. We added B8, recognition of an instructional assistant, F15, to approve the 24-25 collective bargaining agreement with the Brevard Federation of Teachers, and we revised A7, which are administrative recommendations.
Thank you, Dr. Rendell. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Jenkins?
Aye.
Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Trent? Mr. Susan?
Aye.
All right, we are now at the administrative staff recommendations. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Any discussion? No? Roll call, please.
Ms. Jenkins?
Aye.
Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Trent? Mr. Susan?
Aye.
Thank you. Dr. Rendell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With that action, we have some people who've been promoted to some new positions, so we want to recognize them. First up is Adria McDonough. We want to congratulate her on her promotion to Director of Early Childhood Education. She'll be leaving Oak Park Elementary, where she serves as the principal, but we won't take her until we get her replacement in place. So Adria, congratulations. Come on up.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Oh, hang on.
I'd like to thank the board, Dr. Rendell. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you, Mrs. Wright, for always being my big support person on the board. So thank you so much. I am excited about the opportunity. I also want to take a moment to thank my family. My husband's here, Paul McDonough. My beautiful daughter is here also, Sydney, and my mom, who has been at every school for the last 30 years,
Yes.
Nancy Cutliff. And my son is at FSU, I'm sure, having a lot of fun over there since he just got back for his 2nd year. And I also want to take a moment and just thank Dr. Smith, Ms. Chappie, Ms. Harris, Mr. Raymer, all of the people that have supported me. I see Dr. Wilson back there that I've been seeing, and he's been helping me with the security part of the job. I just really appreciate this opportunity. I love being a principal, and one of the whys behind this move is during the COVID years, our babies weren't able to go to VBK and the pre-K programs, and when they came back to school, they just were not ready to go. And so I saw the impact that these programs have on our education. And so if I can have a piece and a part of that, I just am amazed with this opportunity because it's so important. And it's important to our proficiency in 3rd grade and beyond. So thank you so much. And then I see Mr. Travis Diesel back. He's been my next door neighbor for a long time. And I just want to say thank you to you as well. So thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks for the opportunity. I promise to work really hard.
Next, we'd like to congratulate Jay Sopke on his promotion to assistant principal at Edgewood Junior Senior High School. Jay, come on up.
Thank you, Dr. Rendell, and thank you to members of the board. I first want to say I deeply appreciate the opportunity. This is really a chance of a lifetime for me, that especially getting to know the Edgewood community and finding out how I can make a difference and contribute to the learning of those students. Ms. Ingrata, I deeply appreciate her trust in me to join her staff. They've already invited me to their Wordle group, so I'm looking forward to going and doing that. And then my mentors that I've had, I deeply appreciate Ms. Lundy and Mr. Pruitt and the staff at Satellite. I couldn't ask for a better family to be a part of and help me grow in my administrative career. Ms. Baumgarant and Dr. Booth are great, wonderful people to learn from as peer mentors. And then my previous occupation too, with Ms. Briley and Mr. Solomon too, over at O'Galley. They were wonderful for me getting started. And I also like to thank my very understanding wife, who's here today, that all the admin duties and all the times that I have to stay and just things come up throughout the day that I just want to make sure that things are right for the kids and being able to go forward and supporting the teachers and supporting the staff. And I'm looking forward to figuring out how I can contribute at Edgewood. Thank you.
Next, we want to congratulate Frances O'Connor for her promotion to assistant principal at Gardendale Separate Day School. Quite the challenge there. Congratulations.
Good morning. I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity. I don't have a long list like everyone else. I'm fairly new to the county. But I want to thank Ms. Poley for, briefing me on all the going-ons at school. And I want to thank Ms. Bland as well and the board as well for giving me the opportunity. I'm hoping to learn some more about Brevard, the Brevard way. Again, thank you.
So now, Madam Chair, I'd like to bring up Ryan Dufresne, our Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. We talked a little bit a few minutes ago about the Grow Your Own program. We want to make pathways available for people who want to become classroom teachers. So he's going to talk about one of those pathways and someone who's done some incredible work in that pathway.
Thank you, Dr. Rendell. I'm going to bring up Susan Kirk, who's actually kind of in charge of this program. She's been working really hard to make sure all these people got all their prerequisites complied with. So I really want to hand the stage over to Ms. Kirk. Come on up.
Good morning, and thank you. Good morning, Board. I am Susan Kirk. I'm a district recruiter here, and I am so pleased to be able to talk about our Grow Your Own program. It's actually a support to teacher pathway. There's two pathways, one where you can be Grow Your Own, you can be an elementary teacher, and the other pathway is you continue as an instructional assistant in an ESE classroom, but in both instances, you have a temporary teaching certificate. Now, we are so thrilled for this because this is giving a true and a clear path for us to grow our employees, our exemplary employees, and we turned this around pretty quickly. This was an initiative it started by Mr. Dufresne, I would say March, April, and we spun it out at the end of April, and to have 8 people, well, 7 today, hopefully 8 by the end of today, she's taking her exams today. To have 8 people who are in this position is just astounding. And we are thrilled to have 2 Grow Your Own teachers who are elementary teachers in an elementary classroom, and 5 additional who are a teacher apprentice. And that means they are an IA co-teaching with their mentor, and they're slowly having a gradual release where they're going to gain more control of the classroom by modeling, by observing, and by going to a Daytona State College full-time and taking over control of their classroom in the end of 2 years. Today, I am thrilled to announce an exemplary employee, Brittany Vasic at Madison Middle School in Titusville. She exceeded everyone's expectations. So to back up, to be part of this plan, you need an associate's degree. Then you have to take a subject area exam, which is pretty difficult because you have to show mastery of the subject. She not only did those 2 things, but she also finished her AA degree. She was short. She wasn't at her AA. She had to complete her AA, take 3 prerequisite classes: Intro to Elementary, Intro to Exceptional Student Education, Intro to Elementary Math, and passed her subject area exam in ESE, 26 credits, 1 semester in the summer.
Wow.
Wow. This is unheard of. She is such a rock star that she had to get a special permission from the state university to be able to do this, because Daytona State does not let people do 26 credits in 1 semester. It's just mind-blowing, and we're so proud of her. Every time that we bring up Brittany's name, we beam, because it's like our own little child. We fostered her, and she's now on her pathway, and in 2 years she will have her bachelor's degree in exceptional student education, and she will be a fully professional certified teacher in ESE.
That's amazing.
Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Brittany.
you guys who put this out. It's really awesome. I stumbled upon ESE education by accident. I was a full-time real estate agent and a mom of 5. And I'm not gonna lie, I subbed for a gen ed class one day and I was like, no way. Like, I don't know how these teachers do it. God bless them. And then I went to Madison and subbed for their ESE class, and I'm not gonna lie, I fell in love with Mr. Diesel, with the staff, everybody there, all of the students. And then when I saw that email, I was bugging everybody, like, can I do this? So I'm just grateful for the opportunity.
Congratulations.
I'm not sure if you caught that. Mom of 5.
Oh, yes.
26 credits since April.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's amazing. Congratulations. Okay, we're going to take a short recess so we can grab a photo real fast of everyone that's been promoted
Yeah, I want
today.
to tell a story really quick, if I can, before
Yes.
we recess. So, because you guys are inspirational, and that's so exciting. So, due to the wonderful world of Facebook, I caught up with a friend from Texas that I grew up with. She's in her early 50s, had a similar path, decided after all her kids were grown and gone. I don't know if yours, you don't look like yours are grown and gone yet, but hers were grown and gone. She went back to the classroom to be an IA. Loved it, decided, you know what, I want to become a teacher, finished her master's or her bachelor's degree, became a teacher. She's been a full-time teacher for about 3 years, and I just looked on Facebook, and she got recognized not only for Teacher of the Year for their district, but for their whole region in Texas, and you know Texas is so gigantic. So that's where I expect to see you in 3 years. I just want to say, such a rock star. Thank you for what you've done.
Oh, thank you. All right, we're going to take a short recess and take a photo real quick.
Two.
All All right, welcome back. We are now at the public comment portion of the meeting. We have 3 speakers signed up to speak this morning. Each will receive 3 minutes. Paul will be calling you up to the podium. I want to remind everybody of the policy, Board Policy 0169.1. All comments should be directed at the board or individual board members. Staff members or other individuals shall not be addressed by name. Abusive, obscene, or irrelevant comments will not be permitted. Orderly conduct is expected from all public comment participants, and the presiding officer may interrupt, warn, or terminate the participant's public comment opportunity. Mr. Gibbs, can you please call up the first and only 3 speakers?
Mr. Anthony Colucci, Julie Hanna, and Kelly Kervin.
Thank you.
My name is Anthony Colucci. I'm the president of the Brevard Federation of Teachers. The vote on the 2024-25 collective bargaining agreement was held at work sites from August 19th through August 23rd. There were 3,097 votes cast, which means about 66% of members of the bargaining unit voted. There were 2,980 yes votes and 78 no votes. Therefore, our bargaining unit has ratified the CBA with 96% voting in favor of it. I want to thank our BFT bargaining team as well as the district bargaining team on a job well done. I also want to thank this board and superintendent for stretching the district budget to offer a competitive raise. We know this wasn't a great year for funding, but you showed that your priority is to do the best you can for teacher pay. As always, there is some misinformation and disinformation surrounding the news of the agreement that I would like to clarify. First, there are some saying that this raise came from the millage referendum. To be clear, not a cent of this raise came from millage. Secondly, some believe that new teachers will get paid more under this plan than our current teachers. New teachers to Brevard will not make more than any teacher who was here last year. In fact, because of the 3.5% of the 4% raise being based on actual contract salary, teachers who have been in Brevard will earn more dollars on the raise. Lastly, there are some saying that the health insurance premium increases are more than the raise, while in fact no teachers will see premium increases anywhere near the raise total, and most will see increases only between $2.76 per check and $7.46 per check. Not to mention those amounts don't start till January and don't reflect pre-tax implications. With that said, I am very concerned about the lack of information and the inaccuracy of information that is being provided by our health insurance consultant, Lockton. Lockton stated as late as March 20th that BPS would need to put in about $4.9 million infusion into the plan by June 30th. In actuality, BPS did not need to put a cent into the plan, and by the end of June, there was a $2.7 million surplus in the fund. That's a big difference, an $8 million difference, and one that we should all be concerned about. I'm asking that you all put more eyes and focus on the health plan and start asking serious questions to our consultant and holding them accountable. My other ask is one that I've been suggesting for nearly a decade, and I don't think it's ever been done. That is to make the plan for next year's raise now, not in June. Don't assume Tallahassee is going to send you a windfall, and assume they won't. So when they don't, you still have a way to address employee compensation. It won't be easy, but with a year's worth of planning, it can be done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Julie Hanna and Kelly Kervin.
Hello, good morning. I'm a parent of 2 students in Satellite Beach, one at Delora Middle School and one at Surfside Elementary. And I know the Guardian program was adopted last year, and this is the school year that it's to be put into place. And I called the schools to find out some more information. I spoke to the school board phone number for some more information. But I have concerns that we parents aren't getting any information. We don't know who is around our children 7 hours a day, 5 days a week with a deadly weapon. I didn't know any of their qualifications to have a weapon around my child. I have concerns with these individuals' qualifications. I don't know what the handling of emergency situation guidelines is for them to be able to utilize such a weapon. And for a district that talks about parents' rights, I think us parents have the right to know who is going to be around our children in these situations. And I would like to request that this information be made available to the parents. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you.
Kelly Curvin.
Good morning, everyone. There were a lot of things that came out of the last school board meeting that I would like to address, and first up is Dr. Rendell. In your quest to admonish parents and community members, you instead insulted our media specialists with comments about their supposed expertise or whatever. I agree. The community did want media specialists to be a part of the conversation and have voting rights on the book review committee. I still do. But I also recognize that part of being a professional and having expertise in their field means following district policies and state laws, even if you don't agree with them. Our school board has proven to our media specialists that they do not have their backs, that they will not fight for them in the autonomy of their classrooms. Matt Susan and Katie Campbell sat by and listened as extremists called them groomers and pedophiles from this very podium and did nothing to stop it or defend them. Megan Wright and Jean Trent actively stood up with the extremists who called our media specialists groomers and pedophiles. The school board, once elected in 2022, made quick work of changing the book banning policy to remove media specialists from the conversation, and then changes have been made over and over again, each time pushing media specialists and their actual, not supposed, experience further and further away from the conversation. The irony is that Matt Susan and Jean Trent would rather trust unreliable committee members who don't even bother showing up to the meetings over our media specialists. And just so we're clear, I don't presume to speak for every media specialist in this county, but for my friends who are media specialists, for the ones who have come to vent to me out of frustration, for the ones who have asked for me about the tone in other districts because they're making plans to leave BPS, for those who are making choices so that they can keep their jobs, for those who don't feel supported to use their voice. Those are the people I speak for because I can, because it's not my job on the line. It's not my retirement. It's not my pension or my benefits. So the next time you want to insult me or other community members, think before you speak. Matt Susan and Megan Wright, I share similar sentiments. You dislike me, and I get it. You'd rather have your authoritarianism go unchallenged. And again, I get it. That would be easier, wouldn't it? If parents and community members just accepted being lied to without questions, you'd be in heaven. But that is never going to happen. And while you two sat up there throwing temper tantrums because you didn't like what was said, a reporter from France was watching it all go down. Not only do you embarrass Brevard Public Schools in this room, in this county, and across the country, but now you're going to bring that embarrassment to the international stage again. And once again, I don't care how many crisis PR consultants you hire, you will never not be who you are. Unprofessional, chaotic, self-serving, and liars.
All right, so we are now at the consent agenda. Dr. Rendell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There are 15 agenda items under this category.
Thank you, Dr. Rendell. Does any board member wish to pull any of the items?
I do.
Which item?
Sorry, my mic wasn't on. F24.
All right, give me 1 second, just so I can pull up which item you're looking at. Okay. All right. Any other board members wish to pull any other items? No? All right. I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent on today's agenda with the exception of F24.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? No? All right. Paul, roll call, please.
Ms. Jenkins?
Aye.
Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Trent? Aye. Mr. Susan?
Aye.
All right, Ms. Jenkins, you asked to pull F24, so.
Need a motion and a second.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, discussion.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into grave detail. Our individual evaluations for the superintendent aren't published, so it's going to be published as a collective average. I just wholeheartedly disagree with giving a $10,000 incentive pay when we didn't set goals in the first place. I also disagree with extending a contract 2 years in advance. So that's why I wanted to pull it.
Any other discussion? No? All right, Paul, roll call, please.
Ms. Jenkins?
Nay.
Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan?
Aye.
All right. We will now hold a public hearing to address a few different things we have on the public hearing. So Dr. Bell, do you want to go ahead and kick off the first one for us?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first public hearing is Board Reviewed Policy Revisions G26, Board Policy 3120, Employment of Staff.
Is there anyone present who wishes to address this item? Is there anyone present who wishes to address this item? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Jenkins?
Aye.
Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan?
Aye.
All right. Dr. Rendell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next public hearing item is Board Reviewed Policy Revisions, Board Policy 7217, Weapons.
Is there anyone present who, my mic turned off. Is there anyone present who wishes to address this item? Is there anyone present who wishes to address this item? Hearing none. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Any discussion? Paul, roll call, please.
Ms. Jenkins?
Aye.
Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan?
Aye.
Dr. Rendell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The last public hearing item is G28, the 24-25 Student Progression Plan.
Is there anyone present who wishes to address this item? Is there anyone present who wishes to address this item? Seeing none, do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Any discussion? No. Paul, roll call.
Ms. Jenkins?
Aye.
Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan?
Aye.
All right, Dr. Rendell, will you please let us know about the items under the action portion of today's agenda?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first action item is H29, Department and School Initiated Agreements.
Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Any discussion? Paul, roll call.
Ms. Jenkins? Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan?
Aye.
Dr. Rendell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next action item is H30, Procurement Solicitations.
Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Any discussion? None. Paul, roll call, please.
Ms. Jenkins?
Aye.
Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan?
Aye.
Okay, and action item number H31, we just voted on in the previous,
In the public hearing.
in the public hearing. So, Mr. Gibbs, we don't need to go through that action item, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So, Dr. Rendell, will you let us know about the next action item?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next action item is H32, Book Challenges and Reviews, People Kill People by Ellen Hopkins. The recommendation of the committee is to keep People Kill People by Ellen Hopkins.
Do I hear a motion?
Yes, I'm going to move that we do not keep this book, and we reject the recommendation of the committee.
I'll second that motion.
This is the only one that I came to disagreement. If you listen to the committee, some of them were on the fence. There was a particular book, the issue with this book reminds me a lot of The Kite Runner, but whereas in The Kite Runner it was more vague what was happening if you didn't know what was going on. This one was more explicit as far as it was a very similar scene. Body parts and all the things I feel like violates the statute. In addition, this particular book, if I heard the recording right, has only been checked out, it's only at one school, it's only been checked out, actually it has been checked out zero times since 2019, so I
Yes.
don't think it'll be a great loss. So that's why I recommended that we don't keep this book.
All right. Any other discussion on this book? No? All right.
Okay, so just to clarify,
You
the
made
vote is
motion
to remove.
to remove
Okay.
this book. And I second the motion. The discussion, any other discussion? No? None? Paul, roll call, please.
Ms. Jenkins?
Nay.
Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan?
Aye.
All right. Dr. Rendell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next action item is H33, Book Challenges and Reviews. The book is Damsel by Elena K. Arnold. The recommendation of the committee is to remove Damsel by Elena K. Arnold.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? No? All right. Paul, roll call, please.
Ms. Jenkins?
Nay.
Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan?
Aye.
All right. Dr. Rendell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The last action item is H34, Book Challenges and Reviews. The book is Sasaki and Miyano, Volume 1 by Sho Harasuno. The recommendation of the committee is to keep Sasaki and Miyano, Volume 1.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? I'm not going to be voting to keep this one there, and I'm just going to tell you why. Again, I've read every one of these books alongside this book committee. This book it focuses on nothing other than a relationship. It's inappropriate. You start the book, you read it backwards, you read it. I mean, it literally, when you start reading a book, which we've been teaching our kids from day one, you start at the beginning and you read from left to right, bottom to top. Not that book, you don't. And so it's just, to me, I'm going, no, this is not the highest and best book that we can offer our kids. And this is volume 1, so I'm not sure where this goes because the entire book is focused on a romantic relationship. So I'm like, if this is volume 1, where does the next one go? So that's the reason why I won't be supporting the committee's recommendation of keeping it. So just letting you know.
Since we're discussing, I'm not going to defend this book because I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of stupid personally.
fair.
I don't think there's a problem with it being backwards because it's Japanese and it was a literal translation. Took the Japanese book and inserted the English text. So, but I can agree with the recommendation of the committee because it doesn't violate statute. And I was looking for it, but it didn't. So, like I said, not necessarily one that I'm super excited about keeping, but if we're gonna, I've tried to stick with that, what the law says, and I think that's where I don't think this one is violating the statute for us.
All right, thank you. Any other discussion? No. All right, Paul, roll call, please.
Ms. Jenkins?
Aye.
Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Nay.
Mr. Trent?
Nay.
Mr. Susan?
Nay.
So I would like to amend the motion to make a motion to remove this book from our curriculum. Do I have a second? All right, any discussion? All library books are considered curriculum, so I guess it's not curriculum, sorry.
I have a discussion.
All right,
Mr.
go for
Gibbs, by removing this book, even though it's not a violation of the statute, do we set ourselves up for potential legal debates?
Well, based on the Escambia case, we're already potentially up for legal challenge if publishers and authors have the right to sue school districts. It's going to come down to what that case says and who has the right to remove books.
Okay, so I am not comfortable removing a book because we don't understand why it's being read in the opposite direction, potentially setting us for legal ramifications.
Yeah, if I can speak to this new motion. I'm not as concerned about the Escambia case because I think Escambia did beyond what their policy, they did, they kind of did a broad swath rather than following a process. We have followed a process. The board does get the final say and Florida statute gives us that. But you started to mention about instructional materials, and I just caution us there because I don't think going back to, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but going back to what the challenger put in here, I don't think we're about to remove every book that has a homosexual reference in our libraries because
No.
we'd be getting rid of a
That's
lot.
not the reason behind that. I didn't say that.
Okay. So that's when we talk about instructional materials or instruction. This having the book in the library is not instruction. Again, not going to defend the book. Not a fan of it. But that's, where I fall down on that. And like I said, the Escambia one doesn't bother me.
Any other discussion? No? All right, Paul, roll call, please.
Ms. Jenkins?
Nay.
Ms. Campbell?
Nay.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan?
Aye.
All right, we will move on to the information agenda, which includes one item for the board to review and may be brought back for action at a subsequent meeting. No action will be taken today. Does any board member wish to discuss this item? None? All right. We are now at board member reports. Ms. Campbell, do you have something to share with us? I thought you
I emailed, sorry, my thing's not on. I emailed you guys a copy of what I had written up, and just as long as everybody is good with what I sent it on Tuesday the 20th, if you're looking in your emails. Just the language, the committee will, once we send it, if FSBA is going to adopt it, they'll kind of refine it a little bit because I'm like, I wish I had a better way to just get all these words in here. But number one was easy but I did add that word certified, and because I know, for example, like Charlotte County staffs their VPK with not certified teachers, and I think that may be some of the hesitation for the state is that they say preschool teachers, then that might mean everybody, and some of them aren't necessarily certified staff. We're specifically talking about certified staff. So I went ahead and in the appropriate places added the word certified. So if you guys are good with that, and with, as long as you didn't have any problems with the number 5, because Dr. Rendell had mentioned it came off the FSBA platform, I pretty much pulled it straight off of last year's FSBA platform about the Workforce Development Capitalization Incentive Program. So are you good? And I did not get into specifics with the unaccompanied minor, but just for them to take a look.
Okay.
Was that
Yeah,
good
no,
enough?
that's fine. I mean,
Okay.
and yes, I'm
Yeah.
fine with it. I read what you had written.
Oh, good.
down,
It's
so-
copied to the agenda item, sorry.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is.
have-
It's on there.
I'm
So
looking
it's
at my
on the
emails.
Item, all the 5 points.
So
that
if you
had.
guys are good, then I will this week upload those to the platform that they have opened up for us.
I'm good with it, board.
Yep.
Mr. Susan, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good. Sounds good.
All right. All right. Does any board member have anything further to discuss?
Yeah, just briefly, I serve as our representative on the Brevard Cultural Alliance, and not necessarily related to the arts, but they had a special presentation. I've had someone come in and do a presentation on the ad valorem tax abatement program, and I just thought I'd share that with the public, and it's not necessarily school related, but it is, well, directly, but it is. Every 10 years, our county votes, and this year it's coming up, it'll be on the ballot in November, for the ad valorem tax abatement. And what that is allowing companies who come in who meet very specific requirements, like they're going to create X number of jobs, and they have to meet the performance goals before they get those tax incentives. To have those tax breaks. And what it ends up being for the stats that they had a team from Florida Tech actually do a research project on it. For every $1 of tax incentives that this awards, our county is receiving almost $5 in taxes, which includes school taxes, as well as things to build roads and other things. So it's one of those things that because it only comes around every 10 years, it's not something we're thinking about. But if you'd like more information, I could certainly point you to the right direction, but it's going to be on our ballot language listed as the ad valorem tax abatement program. And it's something that I think we want to attract these good businesses that are going to provide jobs to the people who are in our community. And Florida does not offer something like this as a state. So the only thing we have really is these local opportunities. Different cities do it, and this is the one for the county. So something to take a look at when it comes to creating, attracting and retaining high-wage job companies. And the scary thing that he presented is they had a meeting with some of these space companies that we have been building relationships with as a district, as well as the community. And because now there is opportunity to launch from other places in the United States, the opportunity for some of these companies to move their manufacturing and other operations outside of Florida and outside of the Space Coast would be devastating to our local economy. And so anything that we can do to, again, it's fair, there's very much accountability. They have to go through an approval process, and then if they're not meeting those agreed to measures as far as the companies they provide and the jobs, what the product they're producing, they don't get to keep it. It's not a forever, kind of tax abatement. But just something to take a look at, and I'd be happy to share the information that was shared with us.
Thank you. No, I would love to see the information that was shared. All right. Dr. Rendell, do you have anything further to report?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do not.
All right. Being there's no further business, this meeting is adjourned.